Have you ever caught yourself scrolling through social media or binge-watching a show, only to realize hours have passed? In a world constantly offering a quick escape, entertainment has become our refuge, our way to disconnect from the chaos of life. But here's the question: what if the very thing we're turning to for relief is actually the cause of a much bigger problem? Think about the last time you felt truly present, mentally engaged, or intellectually challenged. Was it when you were watching a Netflix series, or perhaps when you were reading a book, learning something new, or having a meaningful conversation? Chances are, it wasn't the entertainment that fueled your mind. It was something deeper. Something that isn't as easily accessible or packaged in a neat 30-minute episode. We've all experienced that rush, the instant gratification of a new video, a viral post, or the release of the latest season of a show. It feels good, right? But what if I told you this addiction to entertainment is doing more than just filling up our time? What if it's causing a cultural and intellectual decline? It's not just the time we're losing. It's the mental space we're sacrificing in the process. The mind, when constantly fed with distractions, loses its sharpness. We stop thinking deeply, stop engaging with complex ideas, and stop cultivating creativity. We become passive consumers instead of active creators, thinkers, and innovators. Entertainment, in its current form, isn't just harmless fun, it's a tool of mental erosion, leading to a generation that values amusement over thought, and it's happening all around us. We see it in the way intellectual conversations are being replaced by superficial chats. We see it in the loss of cultural depth, where entertainment becomes the default form of knowledge, culture, and social connection. The more we dive into this sea of distractions, the more we drown in a lack of awareness about the profound consequences of living a life constantly entertained. So, I want you to stop for a moment and ask yourself, how much of your life is being shaped by the entertainment you consume? Are you feeding your mind with meaningful intellectual growth? Or are you simply passing the time, unaware of the long-term consequences? We live in an age of instant gratification, where every desire, no matter how small, can be satisfied with a simple click or swipe. Entertainment, in all its forms, feeds this need, offering us immediate pleasure and relief. Whether it's a meme that makes us laugh, a short video that captures our attention, or an entire season of a TV show that we can binge in one sitting, these moments of entertainment provide a quick escape from the stresses of life. But herein lies the trap: while we're momentarily distracted, we're also slowly losing something much more valuable: our ability to think deeply, critically, and independently. Why is entertainment so addictive? The answer lies in the way it taps into our brain's reward system. When we engage in activities that bring us pleasure, like watching a movie or scrolling through our phones, our brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical. This neurotransmitter makes us feel happy, excited, and satisfied. The more we repeat this behavior, the more our brain craves that pleasurable feeling. We start to associate entertainment with a quick mood boost, a relief from stress, or a temporary escape from life's problems. In this digital age, entertainment is always available. Whether it's a social media app, a streaming service, or a gaming platform, there's no shortage of options to keep us entertained at all hours of the day. We no longer have to wait for our favorite TV show to air. We can watch it on demand, whenever we want. And it's not just TV shows or movies. The internet is overflowing with endless streams of content, much of it designed to grab our attention, entertain us, and keep us hooked. This instant access to gratification is not only a result of technology, but also a result of our increasingly impatient society. We have been conditioned to expect quick rewards, and entertainment fulfills this need. In a world where everything is available at the touch of a button, we have forgotten what it means to wait to work for something that provides long-term satisfaction. We're no longer accustomed to delayed gratification, and the consequences of that shift are profound. But here's where things get tricky. While entertainment provides short-term pleasure, it doesn't offer long-term satisfaction. Sure, you feel happy or relaxed in the moment, but the feeling fades away just as quickly as it came. And the cycle continues. After you finish one episode, you're hooked, waiting for the next. You need the next dose of dopamine to keep you going. It's a fleeting high that leaves you craving more, but never quite fulfilling your deeper needs for intellectual and emotional growth. Addiction to instant gratification is also driven by fear of missing out, FOMO. Social media platforms, for example, have made us hyper-aware of what everyone else is doing. If we're not constantly connected to the latest trends, news, or viral content, we feel left out. We begin to believe that entertainment is the only way to stay connected, relevant, or in the know. This pressure to keep up with the constant flow of entertainment creates a sense of urgency, a need to consume more, faster, and more frequently. As we dive deeper into these distractions, we start to disconnect from more meaningful and long-lasting forms of enrichment. Reading a thought-provoking book or engaging in a deep conversation becomes a chore compared to the easy pleasure of watching a funny video. We begin to confuse temporary pleasure with fulfillment, and that's when the problem begins to take root. In a world where entertainment is so easily accessible, we're constantly choosing passive consumption over active engagement. We allow the algorithms to control our time, guiding us to what we should watch, read, or listen to next based on our previous choices. But this passive engagement with entertainment leaves no room for us to think critically, challenge ourselves, or create. It's a state of mental autopilot, where our thoughts are dictated by external sources, rather than our own introspection or intellectual curiosity. The irony is that while entertainment has the power to make us feel good in the moment, it also has the power to make us feel worse in the long run. The more time we spend plugged into these distractions, the less time we spend on activities that promote intellectual and personal growth. And as the cycle continues, we lose our ability to focus, think deeply, and contribute meaningfully to conversations and ideas that matter. So, what's the cost of all this instant gratification? It's the slow erosion of our mental faculties, our ability to concentrate, engage with complex ideas, and participate in intellectual and cultural discussions. We become so caught up in the noise of entertainment that we miss out on the richness of life that comes from deep reflection, learning, and connection with others. In the next part of this series, we'll explore the intellectual and cultural consequences of this addiction. But for now, consider this. When was the last time you truly challenged yourself intellectually? When was the last time you read something that made you think differently about the world? If we continue to choose entertainment over intellectual engagement, we risk losing not just our time, but also our ability to think critically, grow, and contribute to a richer, more meaningful culture. As we continue down the path of entertainment addiction, we begin to notice something unsettling. Our culture and intellect begin to suffer. In the age of instant gratification, it's easy to overlook the long-term consequences of constantly seeking distraction. But the truth is, this addiction to entertainment is not just eroding our individual minds. It is contributing to a larger, more concerning cultural and intellectual decline that impacts society as a whole. One of the most alarming consequences of entertainment addiction is the loss of critical thinking. In the past, people spent hours reading books, engaging in meaningful discussions, or challenging ideas that made them uncomfortable. Now we often settle for passive consumption, a quick fix of entertainment that requires little to no effort or engagement. Whether it's scrolling through a feed of memes or watching a reality TV show, entertainment encourages us to focus on immediate satisfaction, without questioning what we're consuming. This constant bombardment of easily digestible content has weakened our ability to think critically. When was the last time you engaged with an idea for more than a few minutes without being distracted by a notification or a new episode of a show? Our minds are now conditioned to seek constant novelty, and as a result, we struggle to engage in deep thought. We become accustomed to skimming the surface, never diving deep enough into ideas, history, or culture to truly understand them. The intellectual decline caused by this addiction doesn't just affect individuals, it also has a far-reaching impact on culture. Entertainment has replaced meaningful cultural conversations. It used to be that people would gather around a table discussing philosophy, politics, literature, and art. Today, we gather around screens to discuss the latest trends, celebrity gossip, or viral memes. The more we consume entertainment, the more we disengage from the deeper aspects of culture that define us as a society. Instead of exploring the works of great thinkers, writers, and artists, we watch mindless entertainment that reinforces stereotypes, shallow narratives, and meaningless drama. Popular culture now thrives on superficiality, quick fixes of dopamine that provide momentary relief but contribute little to our cultural or intellectual growth. Over time, this leads to a society where depth is replaced by surface-level entertainment, and culture becomes more about consumption than creation. Shift in focus from intellectual culture to entertainment is alarming because it diminishes our capacity to engage with ideas that challenge us. The great philosophers, writers, and intellectuals of the past were able to influence society precisely because they created meaningful dialogue and urged people to reflect deeply on their values, purpose, and place in the world. Today, those deep conversations are often drowned out by the loud noise of entertainment, which keeps us in a perpetual state of distraction. Another consequence of entertainment addiction is the decline in genuine social interactions. While we may be more connected than ever through social media and streaming platforms, we're losing the ability to connect in meaningful ways. When was the last time you had a conversation that wasn't shaped by entertainment? Social media has created a false sense of connection, where we're interacting with superficial versions of others and not truly engaging with their thoughts, ideas, or emotions. In the past, people engaged in face-to-face discussions about books, art, politics, and culture. They exchanged ideas and debated perspectives, pushing each other to think critically and expand their horizons. Today, these deep conversations are often replaced by the consumption of viral videos and trending topics that have little to no intellectual value. This shift has led to a decline in community involvement. People are more likely to spend hours in front of a screen than they are to volunteer in their communities, attend local events, or engage in meaningful social activism. The cultural fabric of society is weakening because we are no longer investing in the conversations and actions that truly shape the future. Finally, the addiction to entertainment is contributing to the death of intellectual curiosity. In the past, people were hungry for knowledge. They sought out books, ideas, and experiences that expanded their worldview. Today, that curiosity is often overshadowed by the endless stream of entertainment that demands our attention. We have become so accustomed to the instant gratification of entertainment that we've lost our natural curiosity about the world around us. Intellectual growth requires time, effort, and focus. It involves asking difficult questions, seeking answers, and challenging one's own beliefs. But when entertainment becomes our primary focus, we stop asking those questions. We become complacent, content with the limited knowledge that entertainment provides, rather than seeking deeper understanding. As a result, our minds become stagnant and we lose our ability to innovate, create, and push the boundaries of human thought. So, what is the price of all this? The price is the decay of our intellectual and cultural vitality. When we replace real, meaningful engagement with entertainment, we not only rob ourselves of personal growth, but also contribute to a society that values distractions over depth. We become a culture that prioritizes amusement over learning, entertainment over intellectual progress, and pleasure over purpose. But here's the good news. This doesn't have to be our future. In the next part of this series, we'll explore how we can reclaim our minds, rediscover our intellectual curiosity, and bring back a culture that values deep thinking, creativity, and meaningful connections. For now, think about this. How much are you sacrificing when you choose entertainment over intellectual engagement? And more importantly, are you ready to break free from the cycle of distractions and rediscover the power of true cultural and intellectual growth? To truly understand the impact of entertainment addiction, it's essential to look at real-life examples and stories that highlight the consequences of living in a culture dominated by distractions. It's easy to dismiss the idea that entertainment could have such a profound effect on our minds and society. But when we look closer, we can see how this addiction to entertainment not only affects our personal lives, but also shapes the world around us in ways we may not even realize. Consider the life of Albert Einstein, one of the greatest minds in history. Einstein wasn't just an exceptional physicist. He was a profound thinker, a philosopher of science, and someone who constantly questioned the status quo. He didn't just work to solve problems. He sought to understand the very nature of the universe, often contemplating deeply for hours on end. But if Einstein had spent his days binge-watching television or scrolling through social media, would he have had the mental clarity or intellectual curiosity to make the discoveries that changed the world? Likely not. Einstein's brilliance wasn't just in his knowledge of physics, it was in his ability to engage with complex ideas and question everything. He spent his time thinking deeply about reality, observing the world, and engaging in intellectual pursuits that were far more meaningful than simply consuming entertainment. Imagine what could happen if today's generation followed a similar path, where instead of indulging in endless entertainment, they dedicated more time to thinking, reflecting, and challenging the world around them. What kind of breakthroughs could we make as a society? Next, let's look at the story of Steve Jobs, the visionary behind Apple. Jobs was known for his ability to push the boundaries of technology, design, and creativity. He didn't get to where he was by spending his days immersed in the latest entertainment trends. Jobs was deeply passionate about innovation and always looking for ways to improve and challenge existing systems. His creativity was fueled not by mindless consumption, but by purposeful creation and constant reflection. Jobs often spoke about the importance of focus, the ability to say no to the distractions that life offers, in order to focus on what truly matters. Imagine if Jobs had spent hours consuming trivial entertainment instead of diving deep into his work and thinking about how technology could change the world. Would Apple have created products like the iPhone or the iPad? Would the company have revolutionized the way we communicate, work, and interact with the world? Probably not. This story is a clear example of how intellectual dedication, the refusal to get lost in distractions, can lead to extraordinary achievements. The modern struggle, the case of social media, and the impact on intellectual growth now. Let's bring this closer to home with an example from today's world: the rise of social media addiction. Social media platforms are designed to keep us hooked, offering a continuous stream of entertainment that is personalized to our interests. The problem with social media isn't just that it consumes our time. It also hijacks our attention, preventing us from engaging in deeper intellectual activities. Take the example of a young professional who spends hours each day scrolling through their social media feeds. While they might think they're staying connected to the world, what they're really doing is losing the ability to focus on long-term goals, critical thinking, and intellectual growth. The constant barrage of notifications, likes, and shares gives the brain an addictive hit of dopamine, but it doesn't contribute to any lasting intellectual enrichment. This person may never take the time to read a book, engage in deep conversations, or explore new ideas because they're too caught up in the shallow pleasures of social media. Over time, this takes its toll not just on their intellectual growth, but on their ability to contribute meaningfully to cultural discussions or societal progress. They may never become the next Einstein or Jobs, not because they lack potential, but because they've never learned to cultivate deep focus and engagement. To bring this concept into a more personal context, consider the fictional story of Sam, a young man who once had big dreams. Sam had always been interested in history and philosophy, and was particularly passionate about learning new things. However, over time, Sam found himself spending more and more time watching TV shows, playing video games, and checking social media. At first, it felt harmless. After all, it was just entertainment, right? But months passed, and Sam's passion for learning began to fade. He stopped reading the books that once inspired him and stopped engaging in thoughtful conversations with his friends. Instead, he spent his free time getting lost in the never-ending cycles of his favorite shows and online content. His intellect dulled and his creativity dried up. What once had been a young man full of potential had turned into someone who merely passed time without really living or growing. One day, Sam realized he had stopped growing intellectually. He had missed opportunities to engage with ideas that could have changed his life. He found himself disconnected from the world around him, no longer able to think deeply or critically about anything. The world of entertainment had consumed him, leaving him hollow inside. However, Sam decided to change. He began by limiting his entertainment consumption, dedicating time each day to read, learn, and challenge his own thinking. He returned to the hobbies and interests that once fueled his mind and started taking back control of his time. Slowly, Sam's life began to transform. His intellectual curiosity was reignited, and he rediscovered a deeper sense of purpose. Sam's story is a reflection of the real danger of entertainment addiction. It can slowly drain us of our vitality, creativity, and intellectual potential. But just as easily as we can fall into the trap of mindless consumption, we can also choose to break free. The stories of Einstein, Jobs, social media addiction, and Sam all serve to highlight a critical point. Entertainment, when consumed mindlessly, has the power to limit our intellectual potential and cultural progress. But as these examples show, it's never too late to change. By reclaiming our time and dedicating ourselves to meaningful intellectual engagement, we can begin to reverse the effects of entertainment addiction. In the next part, we'll explore how to take back control of our lives and rediscover our intellectual vitality, one thoughtful decision at a time. Up until now, we've explored the seductive power of entertainment and its profound impact on our minds, our culture, and our intellectual development. But here's the most important question: how do we break free? How do we reclaim our focus, our creativity, and our true potential from the distractions that consume so much of our time? The first step is awareness. Awareness is the key to any transformation. You cannot change what you do not recognize. The first breakthrough happens when you realize that you are not the entertainment you consume, and that the distractions you rely on for comfort are robbing you of something far more valuable: your intellectual and emotional depth. The process of awakening begins with observing the patterns in your life. Start paying attention to how much time you spend consuming entertainment, and ask yourself, what am I gaining from this? Are you feeling fulfilled or just momentarily distracted? Are you building knowledge, creativity, or intellectual growth? Or are you simply passing time? Awareness comes when you stop being a passive consumer and become an active observer of your own life. Start noticing the moments when you reach for your phone, turn on the TV, or scroll mindlessly through social media. What is driving you? Is it a genuine desire for knowledge or connection? Or is it a way to avoid discomfort, boredom, or stress? The key here is to recognize the automatic nature of these behaviors. We don't even think twice before reaching for our phones or turning on the television. It's as if we are wired to seek entertainment whenever there's a moment of silence or stillness. But this automatic behavior is what keeps us locked in a cycle of distraction. Once you become aware of the patterns, the next step is to create space. The truth is, you don't need to eliminate all entertainment from your life. That's not the goal. What you need is to create room for other activities that nourish your mind and soul, things that require you to think deeply, engage with your surroundings, and reflect on your place in the world. Start small. Take 15 to 20 minutes a day to reflect, whether it's through journaling, meditation, or a quiet walk in nature. During this time, allow yourself to disconnect from the constant noise of entertainment and reconnect with your inner self. Ask yourself big questions. What do I truly care about? What do I want to learn? How can I contribute to the world? This is the process of reclaiming your mind. Instead of constantly being consumed by external sources of stimulation, you allow yourself the freedom to think. This mental space will feel uncomfortable at first because it's unfamiliar, but this discomfort is where the growth happens. It's through this space that your intellectual curiosity will begin to reawaken. As you begin to create more space, you'll find that your curiosity returns. The desire to learn, to grow, and to engage with the world will come back. You'll begin to notice things you hadn't noticed before: the intricate details of a book you're reading, the depth of a conversation with a friend, or the new ideas that emerge when you sit quietly and let your mind wander. Curiosity is a natural human trait, but it often gets buried under layers of mindless entertainment. The moment you step away from the distractions and start engaging with the world around you, you'll realize how much potential for intellectual growth and creativity you've been neglecting. Another powerful realization is the concept of delayed gratification. For so long, we've been conditioned to seek instant rewards, whether it's through entertainment, food, or social media validation. But the true power of personal growth comes when you embrace delayed gratification, the KEYPOINTS ability to put in the effort now for a long-term reward. By dedicating time to intellectual pursuits, whether it's reading, writing, learning a new skill, or engaging in meaningful conversations, you're investing in yourself. The rewards won't be instant, but they will be far more satisfying. The knowledge you gain, the skills you develop, and the sense of accomplishment you feel will provide far more fulfillment than any fleeting moment of entertainment ever could. One of the most empowering shifts you can make is to go from passive consumption to active creation. This is where the true power lies. Instead of simply absorbing content, you start to produce content, whether it's writing, creating art, building a business, or contributing to your community. When you create, you're engaging your mind, challenging yourself, and bringing something new into the world. This shift from consumer to creator is a transformative process. It's through this creative engagement that you'll rediscover your passion, your intellectual capacity, and your cultural vitality. You'll realize that entertainment is not inherently bad, but it's what you do with your time and energy that determines whether you live a life of fulfillment or distraction. At the heart of this journey is the understanding that you are the creator of your own life. Your mind is a powerful tool, and you have the ability to shape your thoughts, your experiences, and your reality. The entertainment industry, social media, and the distractions of modern life are simply tools that you can choose to use or discard. The power lies in your hands. So take a step back and ask yourself, what kind of life do I want to live? What kind of person do I want to become? The answer is within you. By becoming aware of your habits, creating space for reflection, and reconnecting with your intellectual curiosity, you can break free from the cycle of entertainment addiction and begin to live a life that is purposeful, fulfilling, and intellectually enriching. The journey to breaking free from entertainment addiction is not an easy one, but it is incredibly rewarding. By acknowledging the power within you and taking action to reclaim your time, your focus, and your creativity, you'll begin to see a transformation not only in yourself, but also in the world around you. The choice is yours. You can remain a passive consumer of distractions, or you can awaken to the boundless potential that lies within you. Now that we've explored the deep impact that entertainment addiction can have on our minds, culture, and intellectual growth, it's time to take action. How do we break free from this cycle? How do we reclaim our intellectual vitality and reinvigorate our cultural engagement? The good news is you have the power to make a change. It all begins with small but significant shifts in your habits and mindset. The first step to reclaiming your intellectual and cultural vitality is to take a good, honest look at your current habits. Where does your time go? How much time do you spend on entertainment, scrolling through social media, or watching shows that offer little to no intellectual value? These distractions aren't inherently bad, but they become a problem when they start taking up more time than things that nourish your mind. Track your time. For the next few days, try tracking how much time you spend on entertainment and compare it to time spent on activities that promote growth, like reading, learning a new skill, or engaging in meaningful conversations. You may be surprised by how much time you spend consuming distractions without even realizing it. Be honest with yourself. This step is about self-awareness. Understand that the first step to change is recognizing the problem. Don't judge yourself, just observe and reflect. Acknowledge the impact this has on your life and your goals. 2. Prioritize time for intellectual pursuits. Once you have a clear picture of your habits, the next step is to prioritize intellectual pursuits. This doesn't mean cutting out entertainment completely, but rather making time for more meaningful activities that challenge your mind and promote growth. Set a reading goal. Start by reading just 15 to 30 minutes a day. Whether it's books on topics you care about, historical accounts, philosophical works, or scientific articles, make it a habit. Reading fuels the mind and opens up new worlds of thinking. Learn something new. Pick a subject you've always wanted to understand more deeply. Whether it's learning a new language, exploring a new area of knowledge, or developing a new skill, take the time to immerse yourself in something that requires mental effort and curiosity. Engage with ideas, not just content. Instead of mindlessly consuming entertainment, seek out thought-provoking content. Documentaries, interviews with experts, educational YouTube channels, and podcasts are excellent ways to learn about a wide range of subjects. But remember, the goal is not passive consumption. The goal is to engage with these ideas, reflect on them, and integrate them into your own life. Entertainment is not inherently bad, it's a matter of balance. Mindful consumption is about understanding the difference between entertainment that stimulates your mind and entertainment that merely numbs you. Set time limits. Create boundaries for how much time you spend consuming entertainment. For instance, limit your TV time to 1 or 2 episodes per day. This ensures that entertainment doesn't dominate your schedule. Make it purposeful. If you do choose to watch something, ask yourself if it adds value to your life. Does it educate, inspire, or challenge your thinking? Or is it just filling space? This simple habit of questioning the value of entertainment can help you make more intentional choices. One of the most powerful ways to reclaim intellectual vitality is to develop a practice of mindfulness and reflection. In a world filled with constant distractions, taking time to reflect helps you reconnect with your true self and regain control over your thoughts. Meditate or reflect daily. Take at least 10 to 15 minutes a day to reflect on your thoughts and experiences. This could be through meditation, journaling, or simply sitting in silence. This practice helps you detach from the constant stream of entertainment and distractions, allowing your mind to settle and focus on what truly matters. Ask thought-provoking questions. During your reflection, ask yourself questions like, what did I learn today? What ideas challenged my beliefs? This practice helps keep your intellectual curiosity alive and sharp. Human connection is one of the greatest tools for intellectual and cultural growth. In a world where entertainment often isolates us, we must actively seek out meaningful interactions that challenge and inspire us. Join or start intellectual groups. Look for book clubs, discussion groups, or online communities where you can engage in deep, thoughtful conversations. Surround yourself with people who value intellectual growth, and who will push you to think beyond the surface level. Ask the big questions. Start conversations that explore philosophy, culture, and personal development. It could be as simple as discussing a book you've read or a documentary you've watched. Engaging in these discussions keeps your mind engaged and helps you see different perspectives. Reclaiming intellectual and cultural vitality also requires embracing the concept of delayed gratification. In a world that promises instant rewards, learning to wait and work for something meaningful is crucial for growth. Challenge yourself. Instead of reaching for the quick entertainment fix, set goals that require effort and time. Read a challenging book, complete a course, or start a project that demands sustained focus. The sense of fulfillment you get from achieving something you've worked hard for will far outweigh the instant gratification of entertainment. Embrace discomfort. Understand that intellectual and emotional growth often comes from discomfort. Sitting with complex ideas, reading challenging material, or engaging in deep discussions might not always feel easy, but it's in these moments that you grow the most. Finally, it's important to remember that balance is key. Intellectual growth doesn't mean shutting yourself off from entertainment entirely. It means being intentional about how and when you engage with it. Make time for creativity, exploration, and leisure, but always ensure that you are equally investing in activities that challenge your mind, expand your knowledge, and enrich your life. Reclaiming your intellectual and cultural vitality is not a one-time effort. It's an ongoing practice. By prioritizing time for intellectual pursuits, setting mindful boundaries, and engaging with others in meaningful ways, you can begin to reverse the effects of entertainment addiction and unlock your true potential. The power to change lies in your hands. It starts with small intentional actions that you take every day. By shifting your focus from mindless consumption to active engagement, you will not only enrich your own life but contribute to the broader cultural landscape. The question now is, what will you choose? Will you continue down the path of endless distractions, or will you step into a future filled with intellectual growth, creativity, and cultural richness? The journey to reclaiming your mind, your time, and your true potential begins now. And it's a journey worth taking. Now that we've explored the destructive impact of entertainment addiction and the steps to reclaim our intellectual and cultural vitality, we are at a crucial turning point. The choices you make today will determine the course of your future. Will you continue to be a passive consumer of entertainment, letting it dictate your time, energy, and intellectual potential? Or will you choose to step into a life of purpose, deep engagement, and intellectual fulfillment? This is where transformation begins. It's not just about cutting out distractions or reducing screen time. It's about reclaiming your life, your focus, and your ability to engage with the world in a meaningful way. The true freedom lies in your ability to choose how you spend your time, how you engage with your thoughts, and how you contribute to society. And the good news is, you have the power to change. The first step in this transformation is to recognize the power of choice. Every day, we make hundreds of choices: what to watch, what to consume, how to spend our time. These choices may seem small in the moment, but over time, they add up and shape our lives. The key is to take conscious control of these choices. Start small. Begin by making small changes. If you typically spend hours on entertainment, start by carving out small pockets of time for more meaningful activities like reading, writing, or engaging in thought-provoking conversations. Make purposeful decisions. Each day, ask yourself, what am I choosing to do with my time today? Is this helping me grow, or am I just filling the space? By asking yourself this question, you'll begin to make more intentional choices that align with your true goals and values. Reclaiming your intellectual vitality and breaking free from entertainment addiction requires a long-term mindset. It's easy to get caught up in the short-term satisfaction of entertainment, but the real rewards come when you invest in yourself, your growth, and your future. Set Long-term goals. Think about the person you want to become in the next year, 5 years, or even 10 years. What do you want to have accomplished? What skills do you want to develop? What knowledge do you want to acquire? These long-term goals will keep you focused and motivated. Even when the lure of entertainment seems strong, take action toward your vision. Once you've defined your long-term vision, break it down into actionable steps. What can you do today that will bring you closer to your goals? Whether it's learning something new, reading a book, or dedicating time to a creative project, make sure each day counts towards your bigger vision. One of the most important factors in transforming your life is the environment you create around you. If you surround yourself with distractions, it will be harder to break free. But if you create an environment that supports your growth, you'll be more likely to stay on track. Surround yourself with growth-oriented people. Seek out individuals who are intellectually curious, who challenge you, and who inspire you to grow. Join communities, book clubs, or groups that foster meaningful discussion and personal development. Create a space for focus, whether it's a quiet corner of your home or a local library. Create a physical space that promotes focus and creativity. Minimize distractions and dedicate this space to activities that nurture your mind and soul. Entertainment, in and of itself, is not the enemy. The key is to use it as a tool, not as a crutch to escape from life's challenges or to fill the void when you're bored. Entertainment can be a valuable source of relaxation, inspiration, and education. But it should never be a substitute for personal growth. Consume mindfully. When you choose to engage with entertainment, do so with intention. Choose content that educates, inspires, or challenges you. Use it to spark new ideas, fuel creativity, or unwind after a productive day. The difference lies in how you engage with it, whether you're mindlessly consuming or purposefully using it to enrich your life. Balance consumption and creation. While entertainment can offer relaxation and enjoyment, balance it with creation. Spend as much time creating, whether it's writing, painting, coding, or simply engaging in thoughtful discussions, as you do consuming. Creation not only fuels your intellectual growth, but it also provides a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment that passive entertainment never can. True transformation is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. Once you start reclaiming your intellectual and cultural vitality, you'll begin to notice subtle shifts in how you approach life. But the key is to commit to the process of continuous growth. Stay consistent. Small, consistent actions will lead to profound changes over time. Whether it's setting aside 15 minutes a day for reading or engaging in a weekly conversation about meaningful topics, consistency is key. Reflect regularly. Take time to reflect on your progress. Ask yourself, am I growing? Am I living in alignment with my goals and values? What changes can I make to improve? Reflection helps you stay on track and course correct when necessary. Final step in this transformation is to embrace your true potential. When you stop identifying with the voice in your head, the voice that tells you that you're not good enough or that you'll never make a difference, you free yourself from limitations. You are limitless. Your potential is infinite. Believe in yourself. Understand that you have the power to shape your life, your mind, and your future. The only limitations that exist are the ones you impose on yourself. Step into your power. The world needs your unique voice, your ideas, your creativity, and your intellect. Don't let entertainment or distractions hold you back from contributing something meaningful to the world. The moment you take control of your life is the moment you begin to step into your true power. The journey toward reclaiming your intellectual and cultural vitality is not easy, but it is incredibly rewarding. By making intentional choices, setting long-term goals, creating a supportive environment, and using entertainment as a tool rather than a crutch, you will begin to transform your life. The power to change is within you, and it starts now. The choice is yours. Will you continue to let entertainment control your time? Or will you step into a life of deeper purpose, creativity, and intellectual fulfillment? Your future depends on the decisions you make today. The time for change is now. Take that first step and embrace the limitless potential within you.